Good morning, Bhava babes. Good afternoon. Good evening. Where are you? What time is it where you are? It's 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's a beautiful, crisp winter day in North California. So that means the sun is out, but it's cold. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for joining, creating this sacred space, strengthening this web of divine commitment that we have going on here. I am so grateful and I'm so happy that you're here. If you don't know me or you're new here, my name is Ingrid H. Turner. I am a psychic medium, a spiritual minister. I am here to help you live in partnership with spirits. I am the founder of the Bhava Spiritual Mission. That is our goal. That is everything that we are about, is to live in partnership with spirit, to help you move from fear to love, raise the frequency of every being on this planet through our lived experience, through our own commitment to our own healing work, our own divinity, and then usher us into the new earth. That's what it's all about. Okay, we got some loves here. Hey, Sam. Good morning, my dear. Nice to see you on here. Hey, Faizana. We've got Joanne, evening in the UK. All right. Good morning, Sarah. I'm so happy to see you all on here. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for chiming in. Good morning, Kira. Oh, I got a little internet stuff going on. I'm sorry, ladies and gents. Let's just see if that resolves itself. Okay, hi Sue. Kira, I just wanted to say your name popped up and I got something like just a sort of a magical rush when you jumped on. That felt really, really good. And I don't know exactly what it is. I'm not going to really dive too deep, but I just want you to know your energy's got something rocking going on today. It feels really bright, just even coming through the comment section. Good morning, beautiful Jim. So glad that you're here. Jim's you're on the East Coast now. I don't think it's morning for you anymore, huh? So you are going to be missed in this area. All right. So if you're new, here's the process today. Thank you so much for joining. If you feel like you're really getting a lot from this, and you know that there are people in your life who would also gain from these messages, from this spiritual space, then please share this out with your friends and family who you think would resonate, who would get value from this broadcast. That would be so appreciated. But even just showing up and interacting and giving your energy and letting me know you're here feels really, really, really good for me. That's what feeds me, to be able to show up and just keep on doing this every week and keep opening up to spirit and sharing the messages and doing the healings. Good morning, Skyla. Good morning, Bob. Sam, you felt the rush when I said Kira's name, right? I know, she jumped on. I was like, whoo, something's going on there. Kira, you are getting a lot of love today. Enjoy it. Hello. Good morning, Stella. Good morning, Nicole. All right. All right. So what are we doing today, ladies and gents? Here is our format that we have sussed out over time. I'm going to start by grounding us in. This grounding meditation is really important because here's the thing. I'm opening up to spirit, but you're opening up to spirit as well. And we're all opening up to spirit together. And it's really important to be grounded and rooted in with the earth energies so that when we open up to spirit, we can open up big and wide as possible, bring back with us the gifts from divine spirit, and then practically apply it to our lives. Because like it or not, loves, you and I are having a human experience, okay? Our natural energetic state is a match for the earth. So that's why we do that grounding meditation every damn time, so that we can all get grounded in and open up that much further to spirit. After we ground in, I'm going to open this up with a prayer. And at that time, I invite you to share your prayers, throw them into the prayer pot. Okay. You can pray for yourself. You can pray for loved ones. You can pray for not so loved ones, for experiences, for the collectives, whatever is on your heart. I want you to share it, type it out, say it out loud if you're able to. Prayer is so powerful in this new earth, in this new paradigm. I know I say this every damn week, but it bears repeating every damn week, because prayer is something that I know I often forget. It's easy for me to forget. It's easy for a lot of people to forget. It's also something that can be a little triggering for people who grew up in an environment that they felt traumatized through their religious experiences, if prayer was a big part of that. But, work through discarding that old belief set if you have that running, and drop into your heart and say your prayer. When you say your prayer, I will bring a few of those up on the screen, and all of us together will affirm that prayer, giving it that incredible boost from our heart, from our mighty intention, and bringing that out into the world. Your prayers will be answered. Now, they may not be answered in the way that you expect them to, but that's okay. You're good at the seed. God is good at the harvest. Okay. You plant the seed, you pray, you say the prayer. That is your seed. This divine spirit will come and grow that into a great big bounty. And it doesn't have to be the way we think it ought to be. Because you know what? Humans are not good at that. We think we know what we want, but what we think we want is based on what we've already experienced, because the mind cannot comprehend anything that it hasn't experienced. So how much are we limiting ourselves by insisting on getting what we want, instead of setting the intention, saying the prayer, and letting the universe give us what we had no idea we wanted, right? Oh, thank you, Nicole. Nicole says, you're so bright today. Well, makeup, blue glasses, bright lipstick. No, I'll take the compliment. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I love that you said that, because I'm a little nervous coming on to talk about today's topic. It feels like a little bit, oh, I don't know if I want to go there. So I'm really glad that you said that and sort of boosted my confidence a little bit. That feels really, really good. Good morning, beautiful Ashley, one of our Bhava babes on here. I just love it. All right. One of the side effects of my channeling spirit that is a little bit weird is I get like kind of leaky. My eyes will water, my nose will start running, and I'll kind of, it's a weird little side effect. So I have a little tissue here, and I'm sorry if it's not very pretty. I just got to wipe myself down, but like, it's got to happen, you know? So thank you for bearing with me. We all have weird little quirks when we channel, and it's different for everybody. So I like to share mine with you, because I think it's good to share that, because some people might go, oh, me too. That's what that is. And other people might be like, you know what? And my weird one is this. Okay, there's my internet doing funky stuff again. Let's go ahead and ground in, and let's set the intention that my internet, my Wi-Fi, like gets its shit together so that we can move into this more powerfully. Thank you so much for that, Sam. You're beautiful. Okay, let's close our eyes together. Let's take 3 deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Let's feel all of your energy pool in your root chakra. Maybe it'll feel warm or tingly, or you'll just be aware that it's happening. Take a deep breath in and pull the energy from your root into your heart. Exhale and hold the energy in your heart. Inhale and pull the energy from your heart into your crown. Exhale and hold the energy in your crown. Inhale and pull the energy out of your body. Feel it connect with divine source energy. And with the out breath, pull that energy back into your body and into your heart. Breathe in and hold the energy in your heart. Breathe out and pull the energy down to your root. Breathe in and hold the energy in your root. Breathe out and push the energy down your legs and into your feet. Breathe in and hold the energy in your feet. Breathe out and push the energy into the earth. Feel that energy hook in with the earth's core, and take a deep breath in and pull it back up towards your feet. Exhale. Inhale and feel the energy hit the soles of your feet and move up your legs and pool again in the root chakra, and exhale into your root chakra. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Thank you for bringing us all together today from all over the world. Thank you for helping us strengthen this web of love and community and unity. Thank you for opening us up to the messages and the truth and the wisdom and the love of Divine Spirit today, allowing us to fully embody the grace that is available to us, to bring it out into our lives, to impact all who we come into contact with, and raise the frequency of this planet one beautiful human at a time, allowing our own expansion to ripple out to thousands upon thousands upon thousands. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, at this time, I'd love to invite you to share your prayer. Put your prayer into the pot. What do you got? What are you praying for? What's going on with you, your loved ones? Happy holidays, by the way. I always gloss over the holidays. I'm terrible about it. But it's a thing, and it's a good time for us to remember to love ourselves and each other a little more deeply, a little more focused. All right. Beautiful Stella. Praying for clarity and to be more receptive and better able to interpret messages from spirit guides. This is beautiful, Stella. I affirm this prayer for you. I affirm that you are opening up to be more clear and receptive to divine spirit, and to be open, totally open to the unique and wonderful ways that spirit communicates to you and through you. Thank you, Stella. That's gorgeous. Hello, Ken. Clarity, compassion, courage for all those struggling with challenges. That's a beautiful prayer for our collective. I absolutely affirm that clarity, that seems to be a theme, right? Clarity, compassion, and courage, the 3 C's that go hand in hand in hand for all of those struggling with challenges. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's beautiful. Beautiful Nicole says healing for all, physical, mental, and spiritual healing. Beautiful Nicole. I affirm that prayer. We ask that total holistic healing shows up for everybody who is open and ready for that, physically, mentally, and spiritually. May it all come into this, can step fully into their highest expression. Absolutely beautiful. Kira, connection with humanity. All right. I am affirming this prayer for you, Kira, that you feel that connection with humanity, that all humanity feels connection with itself, that we become truly one people, one race of beings that is here to expand and enjoy and love and thrive in a new earth. Absolutely beautiful. Beautiful Bob. Praying for my friend Israel as his wife comes home from the hospice. I am affirming this prayer. We are praying for your friend Israel. We are holding him, supporting him, bathing him in divine light and healing love, and also his beautiful wife as she moves along her journey. Affirming this prayer and sending divine healing energy to both of these beautiful humans and all who are impacted by this great change. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh my gosh, I have so many prayers coming in. Heck yes. Oh, I love it. Okay, beautiful Jim. I pray that I can release all negativity and bring in more loving energy into my spiritual, emotional, and physical bodies. I affirm this prayer for you, Jim. Let's send divine healing energy, bathe you in this beautiful divine white light. We see it as light, but it is so much more than that. It is a substance unlike anything we can possibly fathom in our human experience. And we trust and we have faith that divine spirit, the universal energies are pouring this into you with the power of your open intention and our intention sharing this with you. Thank you so much, Jim. Absolutely gorgeous. Okay. And we have Sam praying my friend Pamela, whose daughter and grandbaby are moving to Texas today. May their travels be safe and smooth. May Pamela be comfortable with light and love. That is beautiful. Praying for your friend and her family as they make this big journey, make this big change in their life. You know, humans are hardwired to resist change, but it's such a great thing that they are doing this for themselves. And we pray that they are safe on their journey. The wheels turn smoothly. They get to their destination in a smooth and happy and powerful manner. And they're able to set up a life that is beautiful, expansive, and serves them on the deepest level. Absolutely gorgeous. Okay, one more, and then we're going to dive in. Beautiful Lena, another one of our Baba babes, praying to stay in my heart in alignment with spirit, praying to face challenges with love and integrity, to resist the temptation to engage in lower vibration behavior, praying for strength to face adversity with compassion and higher understanding. That's beautiful, Lena. And you know, you're doing better than you think you are in that respect. And we send you divine healing energy. We affirm this prayer. We hold you in sacred light, in sacred space, and know that spirit is guiding you through this process in a way that is much more direct than you think it is. All right, beautiful. Thank you so much. Okay. Wow, this is great. Thank you so much for all of these prayers, all of this energy. Can you feel how powerful this is? Whenever we get to this part in our Bhava broadcast, my crown chakra starts tingling, my aura expands, and I start getting really jazzed for all the things. So I'm really, really grateful that you're here and you're contributing to this incredible energy. This is what the new earth can feel like. This is what it will feel like. We are in a bumpy transition because that's the nature of the human experience. Before creation has to come destruction. We have to destroy the old in order to build the new. And that's the place where we're in now, is that leveling down to the foundation. And you and me, people who are drawn to this, people who are popping open and popping awake, we are meant to bring in this energy and this lived experience through our own individual expansion. All right. Jim, you are totally a Bhava babe. But by what I'm saying, everybody's a Bhava babe here. But Jim says, when you said Bhava babes, I was wondering, am I one of those? So, okay, we're all Bhava babes here. But I tend to, when I call out somebody as a Bhava babe, what that means is they're part of our ministry. And that means they're going through the Bhava Spiritual Mission school. And they are training to be a minister for the Bhava Spiritual Mission. But we're all Bhava babes here. And we actually get this. I just got to do a little plug here. We have freaking product swag on the Bhava website. We have sweatshirts and hats that say Bhava babe with that logo. Wait, there. Yeah. With that dove logo. It says Bhava babe. Kind of an amazing little Christmas gift for yourself or someone else. But I'm really, really proud of those. We just got those up and running and it's so freaking cool. I even got a picture of my son yesterday, my son and I in swag. And it's like, yeah, we're hitting the big time now. All right, my love. So let's talk through our message today. So I want to say that this was an intense one to come through for me today, because it is something that is really striking. Okay, my Wi-Fi went out. Now it's back. It really strikes a nerve with me personally. We're going to talk about victimhood. And I wanted to talk about it, and I wanted to help you understand how we at the Bhava Spiritual Mission manage, handle, lead people through victimization. All right. This came up this week because I had a bullying incident, which isn't that big a deal. I did a video on it in my personal page talking about don't tolerate abuse and get rid of the bullies, and sort of in this raw, empowered place. But it got me thinking about my own story and my own journey with victimhood, abused, abuser, all the roles that I've played in this game, this relational game. I have an excessive amount of relationship experience. It's just been something that has been it's really the main way that I have learned so much about myself and others, is getting into these sticky relationship experiences. So, this incident, it got me, first it got me thinking about be empowered, don't put up with that nonsense. And I stand by that. But I wanted to talk about the other side of it, and particularly when it comes to victimhood. See, the thing is, there's a difference between being victimized and victimhood, and I want to differentiate that a bit. All of us have been genuinely victimized. All right. We've been victimized in our relationships, through life experience, through things that are unfair, through circumstances that we can control. That's part of the human experience, is to be a victim, to have the experience of being a victim. But what happens, as we know, is we can create an identity out of being a victim and live in this sort of ego identity. Here's the thing. I have lived most of my life thoroughly embedded in a victim identity, from childhood all the way up till 30-ish, right? So most of my life, that's where I lived. I was the victim of circumstance. I was the victim of other people, my bosses, my coworkers, my boyfriends, my friends. From a very young age, I experienced bullying. And when I was bullied, victimized, right, at this young age, I didn't have tools to transform that experience and move through it. So I carried victimhood with me strongly. You couldn't break me out of it. Locked down. So it's still something, it's not a place that I live most of the time now. At about age 30, I finally got to the point where I could make this commitment to transforming, growing out of, leaving behind my victim story. It coincided with me getting clean and sober, quitting drinking. And my first step for me, it was going to recovery, just going to AA meetings, because of course, that, whatever. Anyway, a longer backstory for another day, perhaps. But it is this, talking about this still to this day feels uncomfortable because that victim energy, that victim mentality is still an energy I find myself dancing along the edge of. And that victim feeling has become my red alert system because I know how seductive and addictive the victim mindset is. Does that mean I was not victimized? Does it mean even this bullying incident that happened this week? There was a victimization piece there. You could say that I was a victim to somebody's bullying behavior, but that's very different than staying and spinning in an identity. And when you're in a victim identity, it maybe starts way back here, but then it builds. Every experience in life becomes a reason to be victimized, right? Anyway, so back to like feeling uncomfortable. Like, I know how seductive it is. So it's my red alert system. When I start feeling like a victim, I'm like, I have to be so committed to, I must be damn internet again, to expanding. Could y'all send some energy to my Wi-Fi while we're doing this? That'd be great. let's just get this. Ooh, went up a bar. Thank you all. Joanne, it becomes your lens. That's a really good way of putting it. She said it becomes your lens, right? It becomes your lens. But I feel, I have to be so committed to picking up my phone and reaching out to my go-to people who I know are not going to reinforce my story, who I know are going to help me get into my energy, under the story, into the energy. And, the last text I sent about this was not too long ago. I texted one of my longtime students who I trained. And she's gone and done her own extra education as well. And I will go to her. And the last text I sent her about this, I said, I gotta book a session with you because I'm frolicking in victim. I'm frolicking. I'm just running around, right? So that's why, just to preface this, is why this feels uncomfortable. Because it's something that I still to this day am deeply resonant with, that victim mentality. Okay, so again, victimized, different than victim identity. And I want to talk you through how I work with people who have been victimized and who are committed to moving through their victim identity. It's the way I help myself move through it. It's the way I work with people. It's the way we train people in Bhava to help people work through this. And I think it's easier to show you this. I'm not really sure why I'm doing it. Actually, Spirit just said to do it this way. So I'm rolling with it. This is what I'm going to teach you, do a little teaching today. Okay. So first of all, something that's never, ever helpful when working with somebody who's rooted in a victim story is calling someone out as a victim. You're just being a victim. You need to get over yourself. What that does is that causes someone to burrow deeper into their victim identity. Because here's what's going on here. Here's what's going on. When somebody has created an identity around their victimhood, that is because their ego is trying to protect them from victimization again. You see how that works? They're like, we can never forget that we are a victim because we can't let that happen again. And yet it is having exactly the opposite effect, which is so often what happens with an ego identity, with an ego defensive mechanism, protective mechanism. That, my friends, is because we put the ego in charge and it's operating way above its pay grade. All right. Tangent for another day. Anyway. And I want to tell you a little story, a personal story about this that really helped drive this home when I was very young. when I was 9 or 10 years old, when I was a kid, here's where my victim identity started to really crystallize, is around this age. I started to really like own that, one of the kids that was part of this club I was a part of, we all had these little mailboxes, right? And one of the kids wrote a really mean note to me and signed it with a teacher's name or a facilitator's name and put it in my mailbox. And by this point, I was pretty solidly in a victim state. And I was really like, didn't know how to stop this bullying that was going on. Didn't, just kind of like gave up really. And just, this is my lot in life. And I was talking to a teacher, the teacher whose name was signed on there. She didn't write it. Some of the kid did. And what she said to me, she said very bluntly, she goes, well, I said something along the lines of, I don't know why this happens to me. And she goes, well, you're a victim, Ingrid. And she left it at that. Okay, she wasn't wrong. She wasn't wrong. But when she told me that I was a victim and that it was my problem, basically because I was a victim, if I wasn't a victim, this wouldn't be happening to me. All that did was drive home the fact that I was a victim, because I got no tools to move out of that victim story, right? It didn't help. It helped later, I think, because now I look back on it and go, okay, well, she wasn't wrong. But at the time, I still had a good 20 years of victimhood ahead of me, because it was simply a statement of, well, you're a victim, right? Or, people will like to call people out for their victimhood. Like it feels good to them, That's a whole different thing. When you're actually working with somebody who has been victimized and who has created an identity around that victimhood, calling them out and simply saying, well, you're a victim. Or even saying, well, you're a victim and I can show you what to do, but like, you're just a victim. That's your problem. It's not, even if it's true, it's not helpful, because people will dig their heels in because their ego has gone into overdrive to try and protect them from being vulnerable. You see how that works? Come on, internet, we got this. So the thing, here's what you do instead. You listen to their story one time. Listen to the story one time. Let it have the light of day. Let them spin in it one time. And then you don't tell them what's wrong about it, what's right about it, or validate or say, yeah, or what the heck, you know what I mean? Like when we're validating a story, we're perpetuating that story, even if the story is true. If you're fighting and arguing that story, the ego's digging its heels in and going, oh, yes, it is true. It happened to me, right? So you just listen. And then you lead them back to themselves. How do you do this? You ask direct questions lovingly. I use somatic renewal, which means I use the body. When somebody is spinning in a story and you can see that they're in that loop and they're feeling this victim mentality, I could say, yeah, where do you feel that in your body right now? It breaks the mental connection to the story, the spinning, and they come into their body like, oh, I feel it in my heart, or I feel it in my power center. Okay, cool. Let's just drop into that. You don't tell people they're wrong or they're right or call them out as being a victim. This is deconstructing. Okay, we're deconstructing the victim story as we do this, as we lead people back to themselves. You have to be patient. Because when somebody has been entrenched in a victim identity for a long time, and most people who you run into who are in a victim role are going to have been entrenched for it in a long time, it's a practice. I am still practicing 8 years later, still working on not falling into my victim identity because I was so deep in it and so deeply entrenched in it. Ask questions, listen. But here's the thing, here's the other side of it. If you're going to work with somebody who has been victimized and is spinning in that victim identity because nobody gave them the tools to work themselves out of it, they have to be committed like a mofo to get through that identity, expand into their highest expression, and shed the suffering that they have been carrying. That to their ego feels like insulation, feels like armor. If somebody is not committed to expanding through this, then nothing you do or say or any amount of space you hold is going to be helpful in the healing process of somebody who is been victimized and is living out their victim identity. They have to clue in and say, oh, I don't want this anymore. It doesn't mean they're not going to spin, does not mean they're not going to fall back into it, but they have to be willing to listen to themselves, to their own body, and follow your guidance back into themselves and out of their story. So how do you determine whether somebody's really committed or whether they're using your space holding as a way to reinforce their story for themselves? How do you do that? You listen, you say, do they have that crazy commitment? Are they committed to letting go? Are they committed to reaching out and saying, I'm frolicking in victimhood? Like, I am really in it. I really need some help getting underneath this energy. Or do they think they can do it all themselves? Do they cut people off? Are they willing to go into the energy? Are they willing to disconnect from the story, even for a moment? Are they willing to play with the idea that the story is not entirely valid? Are they willing to acknowledge their part? Maybe in the victimization, but also in their interactions with you and with other people. Now, if you see them in conflict, are they willing to acknowledge their part in it? We all got a part in it. If we're in conflict with somebody, it's always multiple. It's always all of us. Okay, it's never just one person. It's always all parties involved. So here's the thing: you have to make sure, if you're working with somebody and helping them through. And a lot of us listening a lot of us getting together, we're very empathic. We're very sensitive. We care a fucking lot, and we've been through our own victim shit, and we want to see other people move through it because we know what's on the other side. You got to not get stuck. You got to not get stuck too. All right. So you have to, is this person committed? Am I committed? Right. But here's the thing is, if you're working with somebody who is not, or whether it's a friend, a family member, a professional setting, whatever it is, if you're working with somebody and they're not committed to moving out of their victim story, of expanding through it and empowering themselves, they want to stay in it. Guess what? The victim, there's my internet again. I don't know if it's blacking out for you like it is for me, but anyway, the victim becomes abusive. They do. They become a perpetrator. And usually a victim will do it in sneaky, covert ways. They will gaslight. They'll get maybe passive aggressive or defensive or sort of put all the blame on you. And this isn't necessarily the core of who the person is. It's their ego's defense mechanism roaring to try and protect them. And that's why you have to have that crazy commitment to sending that text, reaching out, knowing when you're dancing along the edge of the victim pool and moving through it. But you cannot help someone who is committed to their victim story, to their victim identity. You and we can help people who have been victimized and who are ready and willing and committed to moving through that. We can be so patient. We can be so loving, because that's who we are. That is who we are. We love. That's why we're here. That's why we're gathering. But you can't spend that love on people who are not truly interested in moving through that story. Or guess what? You are perpetuating your own victim identity by entering into a codependent experience with another person. Let me give, fix, hold space. And they're just burrowing in. And they're just spinning in their victimhood. They are not willing to expand out of it. They don't want to expand out of it. Even if they think they want to expand out of it, do they want to expand out of it? Very important. Now, no, none of us are really totally free from this victim identity, I don't think, or at least very few of us. I know I'm not. I know that I dance around the edges. I know I have swum in these deep waters for a lot of years. And that's why this is challenging for me to talk about, because it's like, oh, I've got to expose myself here. But that's my ego coming in and being like, hunker down, burrow in, don't show your ass, right? I'm going to show you my ass. Okay, here it is. Now, if you're listening to this broadcast and you're asking yourself, is it me? Am I stuck? Is that me? No, it's not you. Because you even asking that question means that you have awareness. of your own victimhood. And I don't know where you are in the process. You might be just coming into that, like, oh, I'm done with this. Or you might be just really in the practice and just checking in with yourself, like, oh, is it me? No, it's not you. It's like if somebody asks the question, am I a narcissist? They're not a narcissist, because awareness takes you out of the identity, even for just a moment. You might bounce back in, because that's what we do. Humans, ego, right? It's a thing. It's a dance. You might bounce back in. But if you're asking that question, if you're sitting here going like, am I? Is that me? Oh shit. Like, am I just a victim? Am I totally deluding myself? No, you're not, babe. No, you're not. And if you want more help with it, you know where to go. And if you're listening to this and you're feeling triggered, and you're feeling like all you're hearing is victim blaming and denying my experience, and yeah, but this happened to me, da, 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 da. Yeah, it did happen to you, and nobody is denying your victim experience. We're talking about victimhood. And if you're having that feeling, if you're feeling triggered by this, that's something for you to address, to look at and go, why am I feeling triggered? What identity am I hanging on to? What part of my ego am I hanging on to here? And then all you have to do is make the commitment to release it. You don't have to do anything else except commit, because when you make a commitment, you are this powerful, human. When you make a commitment, the doors open for you. The path is laid in front of you. And all you have to do is take boldly, courageously, take one step at a time. And the universe, your aura, you will open up, and the universe will send you the support, the resources, the learning, the knowledge that you need to move you through this identity into your next highest expression. And you will not be living the victim identity anymore. And I'm here to tell you, 30 years of it versus the last 7 or 8 years of not doing it, or working on not doing it, getting better and better and better and better at it over time. It's taken some time, but that's okay. It's been getting better and better and better and better. I'm here to tell you, on the other side of that, it is worth the effort. It is worth the commitment to break away from that ego identity, from that victim identity. And it does not excuse what happened to you. It does not excuse abuse. It does not excuse unfairness, life being unfair, people being unfair, situations you can't control. It does not take away from your lived experience of what the hell. I feel like a victim. I am a victim. You have been a victim. But if you carry that experience in your mind out into your life, you only perpetuate your own suffering. That experience is not happening anymore. Instead of carrying it with us, let's go about the business of healing. Let's go about the business of getting in, dislodging that stuck energy, and birthing anew into the person you are born to be, you are designed to be. All right. Now, if you're finding that you need to disconnect from people because you realize that you're like giving into a black hole and you're perpetuating your own victim story by dancing in this codependent dance, and you realize you need to disconnect, just because you weren't the person that helped somebody bust out of their victim story, don't underestimate the impact you have on that person's journey. Okay, don't underestimate the impact you have on that person's journey. We say this in Bhava all the time. We have to be hit with a proverbial 2x4 over the head a number of times before we get it. We'll do this thing where, well, somebody, let's say you'll have, student A, and student A is spinning on something, just kind of working through something. One teacher will say this, one other student will say the same thing, another teacher will say it this way. It's all the same information going to that person. And then like the 5th or 6th time, the student will be like, oh, I get it. And they'll turn to the last person who said the same thing that all 5 other people have said, and be like, thank you, you're amazing. I need to hear that. Thank you. And the rest of us will be like, and none of us take it personally. We don't have ego investment. We know that that's the journey. But it's pretty funny because humans are stubborn, even on our healing journey. Even in our commitment, we're stubborn. So if you're here and you're listening and you're still on and you're making that commitment, renewing that commitment, congratulations. You are on the journey of a fucking lifetime. And I'm so glad to be here with you. And I'm so grateful for you. Thank you so much. I got some really good comments that came on. Skyla says, I'm glitching every once in a while. Yeah, thanks. Sorry. Sam, I'm dealing with the abuse part of my family right now. It's awful. It is awful. And I'm so sorry to hear that. And I'm sending you big prayers that you can find your way through this. Find your way through this. You're in a victimization right now right? This isn't the identity part. This is like, oh, this is happening and being victimized. Your commitment to not creating an identity around it is what is going to get you through it and get you free from it that much more quickly. You are so loved, Sam. I'm so glad you're here. And I'm sorry that you're going through this because it's not fun to be abused. Stella says, when I volunteered for rape crisis program, they changed the semantics, not victim, survivor. That's just it. That's what we're doing in the world now. And I think that is such an incredible testament to how the frequency of the planet is expanding. You know, it's just getting more and more and more aligned with what we are talking about here. It's survivor, it's not victim. And we could even maybe take that further at some point down the line, but that is an amazing step right there. It's like, I'm not a victim, I'm a survivor. And we can get to the point in our healing work, Stella, and I've seen this time and again with somatic renewal work with myself and with the people who I bring it through. You get to the point where you dislodge that energy, that experience from your body so completely, you don't even need the term survivor. You can be completely free of it. But again, that is epic. That is an epic step one. We're getting out of victim. We are committing to getting out of our victim story because that's the only way you can move forward. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that, Stella. Sarah, oh, thanks for this. I've gone through this process with you and it was an invaluable experience, one that I practice often. Somatic renewal for the win. Thank you, Sarah, for sharing that. I really appreciate you sharing your experience because this is powerful work. And when we commit to it, when we do it, our lives are changed. And when our lives are changed through our own work, the lives of everybody around us are changed. It's incredible. It just ripples out. So thank you for that. Ken says, abuse, bullying comes in many forms beyond being mental, emotional, physical. It's all about fear for both the abuser and bully, the abuser, bully, and the victim. Practice and commitment for healing will move the victim from fear to love. Support is out there, but needs to be really supportive, not adding to the story. Yes, you summed up my whole broadcast in like 2 sentences. Good God, good job, Ken. That's great. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So, okay, good. It looks like this is, Lena says, is really relevant for you. These are good tools. Good. So I'm so happy that this is relevant for you. And thank you, Sam, for thanking me for sharing my story. It was definitely like, like, oh, this is hitting close to home. But I'm so glad that I did. And I'm so glad you showed up for it. And I'm so very grateful for you and for this experience and for being able to share these tools with you. Now, we take this and we talk about working with other people, but remember, you are both. I am both. We have to understand that we can also be the victim in our victim identity. And we can use these practice with ourselves too. It's not just about holding space for other people. We can hold space for ourselves. We can get underneath our own energy. But I will tell you, if you're anything like me and have really slid down into that victim energy for a larger chunk of your life than you have not, reach out for help. I do. I have 1 or 2 people who are my absolute go-to, who I know will help me get out of my story, who will not perpetuate it for me, who will not validate my bullshit, who will listen and then help me get underneath it into the energy and dislodge it from my body. So, so powerful. Okay, loves. Wow, that was a long one. I'm so grateful for you being here and sharing and listening and being a part of this. This feels really fucking awesome to me. Let's close out with some readings. I'll do 5 readings today for live viewers. You need to leave a comment so that I know you're here, and then I will pick the 5 that I am most drawn to. If I don't pick you directly, stay on because spirit is efficient. It's not linear like we think it is. So you ask a question or somebody asks a question and if yours doesn't get answered, you will find almost certainly that your question will be answered through my channeling for another person. If you feel something that I say reverberate in your body, it's for you. And that's true of everything that we're doing here today, but especially true of the channeled messages. So hi, Ashley. I love you too. Thanks, Ashley. Thanks for being on here. Thank you, Bob. I love your energy too. I got to do a reading for Bob one time and it was awesome. So you're great. Hey, Shay. Thank you, darling. Do a reading. Okay, who are we on? If John, that message, I'll take guys. Just looking at the comments here. Okay, Stella would like a reading. Okay, beautiful. All right, Stella. You see, I do this thing where I'm like pulling energy out of my body. Let's feel into it for you. You would like a message. Feel in the throat. What is that? I'm asking my guide to come in. His name is Mons, for those of you who don't know him. Okay, I'm feeling this little bead in my throat, Stella, and that's all the Spirit is giving me. So I'm just going to talk about this and see if Spirit expands on it while I'm talking about it. It's just almost like a pearl. It's like a pearl in the center of my throat, and it's gorgeous. There's something really symbolic about a pearl that you need to look into, or maybe you already know about it. There's something about the pearl and the symbolism of a pearl and it being in your throat chakra, that is really powerful for you. Like there's a nugget in there. There's something you need to dig for when it comes to your throat and expressing and sharing. What you bring out through your voice is really potent, and you need to go digging for that, honey. You can't leave that in there. You do a disservice to yourself and all of humanity if you leave that pearl just hanging out by itself. You got to bring it out. What I get through your experience, which is part of your expression. Anything that you're using as an expression, voice, words, art, experience, choices, everything that is an expression of you, you got to dig for that pearl in there. Be more comfortable with expressing yourself in all kinds of different ways, because Spirit says you need to know that your expression matters. It is impacting other people in positive ways. And when you hold that back, there's almost this feeling of, oh, don't do that. Like you've got to bring that out. You've got to bring that out for people. Okay, darling. So do some digging. Maybe look up pearl symbolism if it doesn't immediately click for you. What is the symbolic meaning of a pearl? Just Google it. Spirit will guide you. Whatever resonates with you, it's like, oh, there it is. That is what is for you. Okay, darling. Beautiful Joanne. Guidance. How can I support my niece? Okay. All right. This feels like a really yummy question. Let me feel into this, Joanne. Okay. What I'm seeing you and another young woman who I feel like is your niece. That's what Spirit showing. I see you face across from your niece like this, boom, boom, right? Face to face. And I see you simply being so present, but you're completely open, like the front of you completely open. This is important because you're not facing to the side. You're not embracing. You're not closed off in any way. You're completely open to your niece. And your niece needs that openness right now. My crown chakra is tingling, which is like, ooh, okay, that's good. Your niece needs you to be completely open and receptive right now, so that she can choose how she needs to receive support. There's something about being controlled or not having control, I feel like, is coming in this dynamic, not between you and her. It feels like it's more on her end, like not having control. She needs to be given that control, even when it comes to just how you show up. Just how you show up is be so open. You don't have to do anything. You be open and wait until you are asked or invited to show up and give her exactly the support that she needs. And I feel like she might spin around a bit and might take some time figuring it out, because she's not used to being in control, is what it feels like to me. So stay very open. This is the image I get, is just open, chest open, arms open as you can possibly be. That's what you do with your energy. And then ask, let me know, how can I support you? I'm here. Just say, I'm here. How can I support you? All right, my sweet. I hope that is helpful. Hey, Jessica, I haven't seen you in a hot minute. I'm so happy that you're here. What do we got for you? Okay. Woo, okay. So I feel this energy, this like going from my root, like up to my crown, like the energy is moving through my body, and this sound effect is like woo, and I don't know what that means, except, okay, I do know what that means. Hang on, they're telling me what that means. There's a sound piece to this. I don't know if you've ever played with tones, mantras, sound healing, something like that, that you're very attuned to sound, and the sounds that you produce have an impact on different energy centers in your body, even different physical aspects of your body. And you can intuit this, you can figure this out, although you'll probably your mind will like the idea of getting some training and doing some research. Feel free to, but you already know how to do this. Is you just focus in on a part of your body or an energy center, like sacral is coming in really strong. If you focus on the sacral energy, you go in and you can make a tone, make a voice, make a tone. That tone is going to break apart stuck energy. You have magic in you when it comes to tones, using your voice to break apart energy. You're like a natural sound healer with your voice. This doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be interested in singing. It's more primal than that, but it is a tone, it is a voice. So explore that and play with that. So that's what Spirit has for you today. And I'm really getting the sacral, but you can play up and down your energy centers, but I'm feeling like your sacral needs some attention and to use some tones. Just go to, there it is. That's what it is. Okay. So play with that and then circle back and let me know, because I'm really curious as to how that turns out for you. That's one of those off the wall channelings where it's like, oh, cool, that's new. So thank you so much. Okay. Sue, I'd love a message. Need to know if I should go away or not. Okay. Okay, I'm immediately feeling like a coughing, wanting to cough. My throat feels congested. I feel like that's my signal that we have a real block in the throat chakra. And I'm also feeling energy in the power center. And I'm feeling a lot of angst, Sue. I'm feeling like you really don't trust yourself, and you don't trust your perspective. I feel like you don't trust what you don't trust what you're seeing, what you're perceiving, and you feel really spun out. And what I have for you is let it be okay that you don't know what the hell's going on right now, that you don't know what people's intentions are, that you don't know what you should do. You've got to just, when you get to that place of accepting that you don't know what's going on right now, I don't know, I just don't know. Breathe into it, relax your body, feel a lot of tension in your body. Just, breathe into it, relax into it, try and get comfortable and present with that state of not knowing and being unsure, and clarity will come very quickly. Feels like the clarity is going to be more on the side of going, but Spirit wants you to learn about getting clear, about learn how to get into presence and acceptance of not knowing, not understanding, not having clarity, drop into your body, and then clarity will come. Not only clarity will come, but confidence will come, because that's something that you have a lot inside you. You have a strong power center, but you're questioning yourself. You're sort of living out a shadow of this energy that you already embody. When you get present and get comfortable with not knowing or understanding or having a solid direction, you get clear, and then you have a tremendous amount of confidence. This is very strong, intuitive. Okay, now it's like a go. It's like you just get focused and you go. But the only way you can get there is if you stop trying to figure it out from this mental place and first get to a place of acceptance about, I don't know, just a mess. I just don't know. Get comfortable with the mess, and then clarity and confidence in your perspective, in your clarity will come for you. All right. Okay, let's see. We did 1, 2. Deb, this is great. Was listening to you vacuuming. Well, the vacuum just blew up. Apparently, I should just sit and listen to the message. I'm so glad you're here. I'm so sorry about your vacuum. My internet's been blowing up. So, we're doing this together. We're messing with the tech. You're beautiful. Thank you so much. Okay, and then Nicole. Let's find one of the 5. I'd love a general message. Okay, Nicole. Pulling the energy out, bringing it in for you, sweet woman. Grand finale. Ooh, you're doing it. Oh, you are doing your work, girl. I'm blessed to be familiar with your energy, having worked with you some, and you're on here a lot. And I just got to say, I'm really feeling you sinking into something really deep and luscious inside yourself. I feel it deeply in your sacral, in your root. You're getting really comfortable with yourself and who you are and how you operate. And it's juicy. And I want you to, Spirit says, enjoy this. And I want you to enjoy this. You've really slipped into a place where you've expanded through some real discomfort. And now you get to kind of glide in this new expanded expression of you. And you get to just rock it for a little while. Okay. Just rock it. We're always constantly expanding. The next expansion will come, the next iteration of the highest expression of you. But for right now, you get to enjoy the fruits of your spiritual labor, my darling. Okay. All right. I love you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Such a pleasure to jump on and be of service, be a part of this. Thank you for showing up and making this an incredible event. If you found this message helpful, share it out with people who you feel would benefit from it as well, your friends and your family. I mean, probably won't go to everybody. This isn't for everybody, but for who you feel like would really benefit from this and resonate with this, please share this out. And thank you so much for the opportunity to open up and channel for spirit for you. If you're showing up consistently, you find value of this and you're getting good readings, please consider making a donation to the Bhava Spiritual Mission. The link is in the description of the video. You can do a one-time donation, or you can set up a recurring monthly donation. Anything helps. We have our hard costs and we're showing up and committed as hell. And it's so grateful for anything that you can do to help us along in the physical, as well as this incredible energetic exchange that we're having as well. So thank you so much. I love you. I adore you. And I'll see you same time, same place next week. All right, gorgeous. Have an amazing rest of your day.